Rick and Cheryl, thanks for joining me this morning. And you're probably wondering why you're here.
We are.
Sorry for the secrecy. We wanted to make sure that this was kind of off the cuff, and so I didn't want to tell you too much about what we were going to be talking about. You guys have been around for a while, and you have been very generous with your time and with your resources for a long time. And so I wanted the opportunity to thank you for that and to have a little bit of a conversation about that journey. And so I want to start just asking, how did you first find South Mountain? Like, when did you first walk in the door, and how did you show up in the first place?
Yeah, it was August of 2011. One of the things we noticed right away was that South Mountain was a welcoming church. Yeah, that first Sunday we showed up, and actually you were the very first person to greet us. And then what really sealed the deal was a couple weeks later, like in the fall, I remember the Robies did one of those pastor desserts that they used to do where they walked through the mission, the vision, and the values of SMCC. That night sealed the deal for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to make South Mountain, or call South Mountain our home.
So over the years, we've had a number of campaigns for different things. You guys participated in just about everything that came along. And I'm wondering what inspired you or motivated you to do that, to be generous in that way?
I would say it's our passion for the gospel. I don't think we could see a better way to use our resources than to help that to spread.
And it seems to me that as I read Scripture and read the New Testament, that the local church is God's plan to bring salvation to the nations.
Well, when you participate in campaigns like that, sometimes your impact is very tangible. Like if the campaign is for a building in South Jordan or for an extended parking lot in St. George, you know exactly what your impact was. But you know how it is around South Mountain. I mean, your regular generosity and service, it contributes to things that are kind of organic, life change in people, and sometimes you hear about it, sometimes you don't. And because it's kind of intangible that way, I thought it would be beneficial for you guys to hear from some people who have been significantly impacted by your service and your generosity. So I'm going to invite some to come in and talk to you right now. All right? Just stay put.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey guys.
Hi.
I'm Josh.
I'm Rick.
Rick.
Ashley, nice to meet you.
Hi, Cheryl.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you, Cheryl. We go to the South Jordan campus. We just started going about
a year ago.
A year ago, yeah. She started coming to SMCC. She's like, you have to come, it's amazing. And so I followed her and I was like, okay, I'll come with her.
I grew up in religion all my life, so walking through those doors was pretty terrifying. But from the first Sunday I came in, I just felt drawn to Jesus. Oh man, it's like I came for months and would just sit in the back and cry. Because the messages and the worship songs just were speaking to my heart at a time that I just was desperately pleading for answers to questions that I had and for peace in my life. We joke, we call SMCC therapy church. It's like the messages are just like so rooted in love, but they're just delivered in such a healthy way, and it does feel healing.
I love that because I think that I love how South Mountain makes it so practical.
Yeah.
Like Jesus impacts every area of our life every single day.
Thank you so much. We appreciate all the work that you guys have done here, and keep going at it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
story.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
my name's Sharon. I do come from a high demanding religion. I was born, raised, and started my own family in it. Growing up in that environment, leaders did teach us to doubt your doubts before you doubted your faith. I don't remember what made me decide to Google Christian churches near me. SMCC popped up. I thought, I will go, and I will go by myself, and I will not bring my family, and I will investigate. I did this for weeks. I sat in the back, and I was waiting for just one thing that someone was gonna say that was gonna get me up and never come back. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. About a year and a half after my faith crisis, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I am grateful that I found SMCC because when you're in those scans and you're in those rooms, you're alone. You're alone and they're scary. So it was during that time that I would pray, sing, worship songs that I learned here. And it did bring me so much comfort. You guys have created a place and supported a place that allows people like me to belong before they believe. It's changed my life and my children's.
Well, we are the Fullers. Both Lindsay and I had been through a very challenging and very painful divorce. As a father and husband, I didn't know what to do. I mean, we even talked about going back to the church that we had left, but realized we would not have been welcomed there. And it's interesting how God plants seeds throughout our lives. I remember during this discussion that I had a friend in high school 20 years ago whose dad had started a small Christian church. It was named South Mountain Community Church. And our first Sunday here was amazing. Everything about it we loved. One of the most intense, Christ-like love experiences that I've ever had.
Wow.
Thank you so much for your support of South Mountain.
Because of your generosity, James and I were able to take a marriage class with our small group. James and I have been able to heal from the wounds of growing up in a very legalistic religious system. I in particular had a tremendous amount of anxiety that if I didn't do the right things, or if I didn't maybe complete a certain checklist or path, that blessings would be withheld from my children, or that bad things would happen to my family. And that was really hard. And because of SMCC and because of a women's Bible study, learning about Jesus from what the Bible tells us has released that burden from me, which is just a gift that I can't accurately describe. My family's life has forever changed. Thank you for your generosity, and thanks to our God who never abandons us.
Rick and Cheryl, if you guys had not caught the vision, along with a lot of other people across our campuses,
A lot of people.
these stories wouldn't exist. But I think it's pretty safe to say that your generosity and your service has contributed to a pathway to redemption for a lot of people around here. And today you represent a lot of people across our campuses, a lot of generous families that are part of the SMCC family. As I think about the future, I'm convinced that some of our best years are still ahead of us. And I'm thrilled that I get to experience those with you too. It's an honor to be serving side by side with people who are such an example of loving God and loving others. And so again, thank you, thank you for everything that you've done with us, and for being such an example and being committed to the vision of SMCC and to Christ.
It was all because you walked up to us on that first Sunday and said, "Hey, I don't think I've seen you guys here before."